In the beginning, before the Republic, before the Jedi Order, and even before galactic civilization as we understand it, there was only the Force. This boundless energy field, described as created by all living things, penetrates and unites all matter in the galaxy. The Force was not merely a tool, but a dualistic, almost sentient entity, with both a light side, dedicated to serenity, harmony, and healing, and a dark side, fueled by emotion, passion, ambition, and power. Long before the Jedi and Sith were known by those names, ancient Force users arose throughout the galaxy. On countless worlds, Tython, Dathomir, Malachur, and Korriban, different cultures developed their own understandings of the Force. On Tython, early philosophers known as the G maintained balance between light and dark, believing that imbalance led to ruin. But eventually, a schism formed among them. Some Jedi embraced the dark side and were exiled. These dark adherents spread their teachings across the stars and planted the seeds for what would become the Sith Order. Originally, the Sith were a red-skinned humanoid species native to the remote world of Korriban. They were fierce warriors and deeply religious, worshipping dark side deities and practicing rituals involving bloodletting, alchemy, and necromancy. Their society was hierarchical and brutal, where might made right and only the strong ruled. Around 7000 BBY, during the Jedi's 100-year darkness, a group of fallen Jedi were cast out of the Order for exploring forbidden Force techniques like Sith alchemy, resurrection, and spirit binding. These Dark Jedi found refuge on Korriban, where they subjugated the native Sith species, interbred with them, and merged their knowledge of the dark side with Sith mysticism. This fusion gave rise to the Sith Order, marking the beginning of a dark era. Over the next millennia, the Sith built a powerful empire in the Outer Rim. They constructed massive temples and ziggurats, each a monument to their vanity and hunger for power. Their capital was Ziast, but Korriban remained a sacred world, the final resting place of ancient Dark Lords. They created holocrons to preserve their teachings and developed powerful weapons, like Sith swords and lightning. The early Sith wielded raw hatred and pain, transforming them into weapons. Their greatest strength was their ability to draw from passion and suffering. The Sith Empire was ruled by a series of Dark Lords, chosen by combat or cunning. Notable early figures include King Adas, who repelled an infinite Empire invasion, and Ajunta Paul, one of the first exiled Jedi to adopt the title of Sith Lord. Paul's tomb still lies on Korriban, his spirit chained by regret and darkness. The Sith Code, composed by Sorza's sin, emerged as a direct challenge to Jedi teachings. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. This code reflected a worldview built on ambition, domination, and transcendence. Sith believed emotion was the path to true power. Unlike the Jedi, who renounced attachment, the Sith embraced desire. Love, hatred, fear, all were tools to strengthen one's connection to the Force. But this philosophy inevitably led to infighting. Betrayal and bloodshed were constants in the Sith hierarchy. It was a meritocracy of death. Around 5000 BBY, the Sith Empire made first contact with the Republic during the Great Hyperspace War. Naga Sadow, a cunning Sith Lord, used manipulation and illusions to launch a galaxy-wide invasion. Though initially successful, the Republic retaliated with overwhelming force. The Sith Empire was crushed, its homeworlds destroyed, and survivors scattered. Korriban was left a graveyard. But the Sith never die, they adapt. One of the survivors, Vitiate, rose to power through cunning and dark rituals. After consuming the life force of his entire planet to achieve immortality, he established a hidden Sith empire on Dromund Kaas. Over the next 1,000 years, his empire rebuilt in secrecy, evolving separately from the fragmented Sith of the known galaxy. Vitiate ruled with absolute authority, eventually splitting his consciousness into multiple avatars, including Emperor Valkorion of the Eternal Empire. Meanwhile, other dark side movements rose. Freedon Nad, a Sith Lord who had studied under Naga Sado's descendants, traveled to Onderon and ruled through sorcery. His influence lingered for centuries, warping the planet's destiny. Then came Exar Kuin and Ulic Keldroma, Jedi-turned-Sith Lords during the Great Sith War. Kuin discovered Sith spirits on Yavin 4 and forged dark side artifacts, unleashing war on the Republic. Even after death, his spirit haunted the galaxy, resisting Jedi efforts to cleanse his corruption. In the wake of these wars, the Sith triumvirate arose: Darth Traya, Darth Shaun, and Darth Nihilus. Each represented a dark facet of the Force. Shaun, a broken body held together by rage. Nihilus, a wound in the Force who consumed life itself. Traya, a philosopher who viewed the Force as a tyrant that needed to be destroyed. They ravaged what was left of the Jedi, forcing the survivors into hiding. Their reign marked a philosophical low point for the galaxy. But no Sith shaped destiny more than Darth Revan. Originally a heroic Jedi Knight, Revan led the fight against the Mandalorians. After the war, he fell to the dark side and declared himself Dark Lord alongside his apprentice, Darth Malak. Revan's intelligence, charisma, and military genius made him a terrifying force. Yet after being betrayed and captured, his mind was wiped and he was reborn as a Jedi. Revan's story became one of the most tragic and revered in galactic history, both savior and destroyer. The Sith continued to war among themselves, culminating in the New Sith Wars. For nearly 1,000 years, Sith factions vied for control, each more unstable than the last. Eventually, Darth Bane emerged from the chaos. Believing the Sith had become weak through infighting and numbers, Bane devised the rule of two: one master, one apprentice. He destroyed the Brotherhood of Darkness with a thought bomb and went into hiding. The Baneite Sith became a hidden lineage, each generation growing stronger by killing the one before. Bane's apprentice, Darth Zana, mastered Sith sorcery and mental warfare. Their line continued for centuries, slowly infiltrating the Republic. One Sith Lord, Darth Tenebrous, manipulated galactic events for decades. His apprentice, Darth Plagueis, became obsessed with cheating death, experimenting with midichlorians to create life. But as always, power bred betrayal. Plagueis' apprentice, Darth Sidious, also known as Sheev Palpatine, was the ultimate Sith mastermind. He orchestrated galactic wars, eliminated the Jedi, and transformed the Republic into an empire. With Darth Maul, Darth Tyrannus, Count Dooku, and finally Darth Vader at his side, Sidious ruled the galaxy in darkness. Yet even he could not escape Sith fate, betrayed by his own apprentice when Anakin Skywalker found redemption through his son. Though defeated, Sidious's essence endured. Through ancient Sith cloning rituals and dark alchemy, his cultists resurrected him on Exegol. From the shadows, he birthed the Final Order and manipulated galactic events through a proxy named Snoke. His final plan: possess his granddaughter Rey and live forever. But Rey rejected the dark and, aided by Ben Solo, destroyed the Emperor once and for all, at least in the flesh. The Sith may fall, but they're never truly gone. Their teachings endure in holocrons, temples, ruins, and whispers. Worlds like Malachur, Moraband, and Exegol still pulse with their energy. Artifacts such as Darth Nihilus's mask or the dagger of Oki remain cursed relics. And dark side cults, like the Acolytes of the Beyond, seek to resurrect their fallen gods. The Sith are not merely villains. They are philosophers, conquerors, visionaries, and monsters. They represent the eternal temptation within all beings, to reject restraint, to dominate instead of serve, to live without limits. The Jedi may warn against such temptation, but the Sith see it as truth. Their legacy is one of blood and fire, but also of knowledge and transformation. To study the Sith is to stare into the abyss of the Force. Their hunger has toppled empires, broken heroes, and scorched the stars. Yet they're also the mirror of the Jedi, the counterbalance of light. And as long as there is conflict in the galaxy, there will be those who hear the whisper of the dark side and answer its call. And thus, the saga of the Sith continues.